So the argument here is that unless you're a fat black woman, then you could be guilty of racism. Cut 14.
So I wanted to respond to this one specifically, and I responded to it in the last video I posted as well, but I just really want to point out that I'm not at all saying that black people are inherently fat, nor that being fat is bad. What I'm saying that is, from a historical context, being fat was viewed as being unable to control yourself, being attributed to savagery, which is what was attributed to blackness. Therefore, in an effort to continue to separate themselves from fatness, and this being white people and, slavery times, one of the things they did was say that fatness was like being a black person. And this is like in the most layman's terms possible. And that is why diet culture within itself is racist. Because the whole point is rooted in this idea that being skinny is closer to being white and therefore better. That means that the whole point of it is to be away from blackness and to make blackness seem like it's a lower tier thing to be. I hope that made sense. Have a great day.
No, it didn't make any sense. Well, then what's wrong with you? So I did a little bit of research on this, and I had no idea there's this huge subculture out there. And the argument is that dieting is rooted in white supremacy and racism. I thought it was just rooted in looking good in a bikini on the beach during, the summer months. According to Marissa Crane, who has a BS in BS, she writes this: toxic diet culture is a pervasive and insidious influence on our lives. I would agree with this. As a lover of fried chicken and beef, I would agree with this. Many people may recognize this connection to fat phobia and its harmful consequences on body image, mental health, and eating patterns. But they may be less aware of its racist and white supremacist history and how diet culture continues to uphold white supremacy and perpetuate systemic racism to this day. Now, I think that's absurd. I mean, the argument here is that if you are a skinny black person, then you somehow have not reached your full potential, so you need to go back and eat more KFC. Maybe, just maybe, the skinny black person wants to be skinny because they're healthy and physically fit and they want to look good, and they don't want to have to go down to Walmart and get a bed sheet and use that as some sort of a ball gown. I'm just saying. So anyway, now apparently they're telling you that dieting is racist. And I don't get that, because it does seem to me that one of the problems, and by the way, both the white and the black communities, is that far too many people are overweight and they're putting their own health in jeopardy. Now, some of you may be looking at yours truly, a body that was sculpted by years of eating delicious smoked pork butt. And you may be saying, Todd, what about you? Are you healthy? Well, ironically, I am. As a matter of fact, I know it shocks my doctor every time I go in, but my arteries are clear as a bell. And I have long contended that gravy is, in fact, a lubricant. So, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't shed a few pounds. And it's a fair point. But that doesn't mean that my doctor is fat phobic. It just means he wants to see me live a little bit longer so he can squeeze more money out of me every time I go to the doctor. He doesn't want to have to go find new patients because the old patients are dying off. So I get that. So I'm curious, ladies and gentlemen, do you find this to be the case, that dieting is somehow a symbol of white supremacy and systemic racism? All right, a lot of you wanting to weigh in on this crazy story. Let's go to Michael, North Carolina, the talk station. All right, Michael, so the word is that dieting is somehow racist. What say you?
I think that's a little reaching, don't you think? Everybody's so sensitive nowadays. I do not agree with that at all. I've seen fat people in all colors, so I think they're reaching on that.
Yeah, I'm with you, and again, I'm not quite sure what's offensive about wanting to look nice, wanting to look pleasant, and not having to wear a size 62 pants.
Exactly, and we all know that overweightness is not healthy. So
this is true.
I think it's ridiculous. People have too much time on their hands if they start reading and thinking into stuff like that.
I tell you, got to watch the diabetes, as we call it down here in Dixie.
That's right.
Let's go to Mac in Georgia on WDUN. Hi, Mac. What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to explain to you why the dieting is racist.
Oh, boy. I'm all ears.
Okay. In Africa, the African diet makes you thin and strong. And now they eat the American diet, which makes you fat and weak. So they have to diet to get back to what they had in Africa. Simple explanation. Racist.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm over in Kenya or wherever back in the day, I'm gonna be thin, even if I am a white guy, but say I'm a white guy living in Kenya, I'm gonna be physically fit because I'm gonna be able to outrun the cheetahs and the leopards and all those other kind of critters out there. You don't want to be the slowest guy in that pack. You're going to be somebody's supper.
Yep.
All right. Well, Mac, thank you for that analysis. Let's go to Bill in North Carolina, WSJS, our great station there. Hi, Bill. What say you?
Well, good afternoon, Todd. Just to make first point is, in your honor, I'm sure you weren't able to get to go to the barbecue center in Lexington for that great banana split, but I went to have one in your honor. So there you go.
Bill, you're a good man, Bill.
Secondly, back in the day, there used to be a saying when something was like people got sick or ill or whatever, oh, it's in the water, it's in the water. Well, all this craziness going on in New York right now is in the coffee. And the reason I say that is because there's a brand of coffee out of New York that's called chock full of nuts.
That's very well played, Bill. Very well played.
That's all I got today, Todd.
All right. Good stuff, Bill. You get an A+. I love that. Chock full of nuts. Brilliant.